Let's talk about symmetry and radial art. So, first of all, what is symmetry? Raise your hand if you have any ideas as to what symmetry is. What have you seen in your daily life that contains symmetry? Is your face symmetrical? Think about some other things that contain symmetry. Okay, so symmetry is one of the three types of balance. Balance is one of our principles of art, so something that everything must have if it is a work of art. And it means a sense of stability or equal visual weight in a work of art. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the same on both sides to be balanced. So like this painting right here, it is not the same on both sides, but it is technically balanced because we have this picture over here and this curtain over here that balances out this woman that's sitting on the opposite side of the painting. This one is pretty much the same on both sides, even though there's some things that are a little different, it still is very balanced. So, the three types of balance are symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial. So, first of all, they're symmetrical, where on both sides of the painting, it's pretty much the same thing. So this painter, Frida Kahlo, did this in her self-portrait here. She has two very, very similar pictures of herself on both sides of the painting. And in this print here, this one is asymmetrical. So it's not the same on both sides, but it still has that equal visual weight because there's this movement that's kind of pulling our eyes in and around. So it's not just one thing on one side of the drawing. And then next we have radial, which is something that repeats around a circle, creating multiple lines of symmetry that are all coming from a center point. So, when you look at this picture here, which type of balance do you think we are going to be focusing on for this next project? If you said radial, you are absolutely correct. So, does anyone actually know, and yes, we already mentioned that this is radial balance, but does anyone know what something like this or this is called? Raise your hand if you know what this is called. Has anyone ever drawn one of these before? Raise your hand if you've ever drawn one before. All right, so these are called mandalas. They double as both an activity and a prayer that can be used in many ways. So, we have seen mandalas throughout history used in a lot of different religions. Historically, mandalas have their foundation in Eastern spirituality, but we have since seen them adapted to our Christian belief. So the most significant example of the use of mandalas in Catholicism is found, anyone know? Raise your hand if you know. Oops. Yes, in our beautiful rose windows. So, for our project, we are going to be creating mandalas inspired by rose windows in cathedrals. So after this video, you can look up some specific rose windows in different cathedrals, or you can look up any other mandala designs that you want to be inspired by for this project. So you can think of your own original design, but you can also be inspired by one of these beautiful rose windows. So I'm just going to show you a couple, and then you guys will be free to look up some on your own as well. Here are a couple more. So one thing that is really special with these rose windows is they are often used as an opportunity to pray and praise God. So a lot of times when these people created these rose windows, they did it during lots of prayer. So art can be a form of prayer. After using one specific color, you can say a prayer. And that is why these mandalas are so special. What we're going to be doing for our project is using the back of a CD to help get us started with our mandala. So as you can see from these two examples here, we have a little CD here in the middle that will help make a reflective surface to give off a rose window vibe and to help give us a perfect circle to get started. So we're going to be using Sharpies to do this whole project and a CD. I do not have CDs for you, so it is your job today to bring in an old CD, an old DVD, anything that you guys know you will not use anymore. If there's something on the front of it, that's okay, because we are going to be flipping it over and only using that shiny side of the CD. Here are some more examples. I love this look of the back shiny part of the CD, so that is why we're going to use it in the center. So again, that is your big assignment for today, just making sure that you bring that to school tomorrow. Okay, and here is your full assignment for today. So what you're going to do for the rest of class, look up some examples of rose windows that you want to be inspired by, and on a piece of scrap paper, sketch out some ideas for your radial design. Remember that everything needs to be equally spaced out, and you must start from the center point. So you don't have to make it perfect right now. We're just sketching out some ideas. Again, you can do your own original idea with any sort of shape and pattern as long as it's equally spaced out coming from the center, or you can look up a rose window or mandala that you are very inspired by. Again, bring in a CD for art tomorrow. It is super important. Have fun, guys.